Ending waterboarding, clearly.
I was a big supporter of waterboarding. I was a big supporter of the enhanced interrogation techniques.
And you opposed the administration's actions of doing away with waterboarding.
You said the person's going to be in Guantanamo. Right. I'm glad they're at Guantanamo. I don't want them on our soil. I want them in Guantanamo when they don't get the access to lawyers they get when they're on our soil. I don't want them in our prisons. I want them there. Some people have said we ought to close Guantanamo. My view is we ought to double Guantanamo. We ought to make sure that the terrorists... And there's no question but that in a setting like that where you have the ticking bomb, that the President of the United States, not the CIA interrogator, the President of the United States has to make the call, and enhanced interrogation techniques have to be used. Not torture, but enhanced interrogation techniques.
Mr. Cain, of course, you're familiar with the long-running debate we've had about whether waterboarding constitutes torture or is it an enhanced interrogation technique. In the last campaign, Republican nominee John McCain and Barack Obama agreed that it was torture and should not be allowed legally, and that the Army Field Manual should be the methodology used to interrogate enemy combatants. Do you agree with that, or do you disagree, sir?
I agree that it was an enhanced interrogation technique.
And then you would support it as president. You would return to that policy.
I would return to that policy. I don't see it as torture. I see it as an enhanced interrogation technique.
Congresswoman Bachmann, your opinion on this question that our emailer asked.
If I were president, I would be willing to use waterboarding. I think it was very effective. It gained information for our country.
Paul, my spidey sense tells me we have a debate about to get launched here. I know you have an opinion you'd like to weigh in.
Yes. Torture is illegal, and by our laws, it's illegal by international laws.
How do you define torture, sir?
Well, waterboarding is torture, and many other things. It's illegal under international law and under our law. It's also immoral, and it's also very impractical. There's no evidence that you really get reliable evidence. Why would you accept the position of torturing 100 people because you know one person might have information? And that's what you do when you accept the principle of torture. I think it's uncivilized, and have no practical advantages, and is really un-American to accept on principle that we will torture people that we capture.
And
Major,
that's time.
Major, I have to weigh in on this. I have to say something on this.
I'm sorry, Congresswoman, just a moment, if you would, please. Let's give Governor Huntsman an opportunity to take 30 seconds on that question.
Gets a little lonely over here in Siberia from time to time.
Tell me about it.
First of all, let me thank the sailor on the ship. I have 2 boys in the United States Navy, and all they want to do is go on to fight, protect, and defend the great freedoms that we share in this country. This country has values. We have a name brand in the world. I've lived overseas 4 times. I've been an ambassador for my country 3 times. I've lived overseas and done business. We diminish our standing in the world, and the values that we project, which include liberty, democracy, human rights, and open markets, when we torture. We should not torture. Waterboarding is torture. We dilute ourselves down like a whole lot of other countries, and we lose that ability to project values that a lot of people in corners of this world are still relying on the United States to stand up.
Some of your party's candidates for president Saturday night.
Using those techniques that we know will extract the information to save young American lives, and I will be for it until I die.
I don't see it as torture. I see it as an enhanced interrogation technique.
If I were president, I would be willing to use waterboarding. I think it was very effective. It gained information for our country.
Bachmann, Cain, Perry there. The Romney campaign said after the debate he does not consider waterboarding to be torture. What you make of that, Senator?
Disappointed. Ask any military lawyer, ask any person who knows about the Geneva Conventions that we're signatories to. We actually prosecuted Japanese war criminals specifically for the act of waterboarding against Americans. And just two additional points, John. One, it doesn't work. If you put enough physical pain on somebody, they will tell you whatever they think that you want to hear in order for the pain to stop. And second of all, what about our moral standing in the world? Abu Ghraib was a terribly damaging situation and one that we still have not recovered from. I still want to close Guantanamo Bay, but the Obama administration has mishandled it so badly that it can't be closed now. But the point is that waterboarding is an affront to all of the standards that we believe in and adhere to of humane treatment of people who are human beings. And of course I am disappointed at the statements that were made, and again, it doesn't work.
You say it doesn't work, sir. Do they just not get it? And do you need to have a conversation with the person who would like to be the next Republican presidential nominee? Or maybe you don't like this, is your party more to your right? Does your party agree with them and not you?
Well, judging from the applause the clip that you just played, obviously a lot of people agree with him. Again, it's a matter of the president telling the American people about the Geneva Conventions and why we didn't torture prisoners in World War II. That was because they held Americans as prisoners, and why we prosecuted people for the very same act of waterboarding after World War II was over. Ask any military lawyer, and they will tell you that it is illegal. I hope they will look into the issue.